Pursuant to the Constitution and according to the law, I hereby call to order the House of Representatives for the second regular session of the 75th General Assembly of the State of Colorado. Will all those present in the chamber remain standing who are able for the presentation of the colors by the Civil Air Patrol? Please remain standing while the colors are posted. members and guests, our Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Remy and Roman Hamlin, children of Representative Zokai, Jackson Wilford, son of Representative Wilford, Blake and Madeline Slaw, children of Representative Slaw, and Jackson and Colton Caldwell, son of our minority leader, Caldwell.
Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
Well done. Members, I would like to thank Stanley Howard Curtis on trumpet, Adam Michael Smith on trumpet, John Patrick McGuire on French horn, Drew Clifton Leslie on trombone, Brian Connor Shagru on tuba, and vocalist John Robert Lindsay for performing the national anthem, guests of mine from Colorado State University. Thank you to the cadets of the Civil Air Patrol who presented the colors this morning. Cadet Captain Uriel Villa, Cadet Second Lieutenant Donica Matuska, Cadet Second Lieutenant James Strawn, and Cadet Senior Master Sergeant Tristan Biber. Another round of applause, please. Thank you all. Please be seated. Members, we have some important House business to attend to at this time. If there is no objection pursuant to House Rule 2A, Vanessa Riley will be appointed Chief Clerk for the time being. Mr. Schiebel, please call the roll.
Representatives Bacon. Barone. Basenecker. Bottoms. Bradfield. Bradley. Bradley is on the wall. Brooks. Brown. Caldwell. Camacho. Carter. Clifford. DeGraff. Duran. English. Espinoza. Foray. Flanell. Froelich. Garcia. Garcia Sander. Gilchrist. Gonzalez. Hamrick. Hartsook. Jackson. Johnson. Joseph. Kelty. Leader. Lindsay. Luck. Lukens. Mabry. Marshall. Martinez. Morrow. McCormick. Pascal. Phillips. Richardson. Ricks. Rutinell. Ryden. Sirota. Slaw. Smith. Soper. Stewart K. Stewart R. Story. Sukla. Taggart. Titone. Valdez A. Velasco. Weinberg. Wilford. Winter. Woodrow. Woog. Zokai. And Madam Speaker.
Here. With 63 present, 0 excused, and 2 vacant, there is a quorum. The Chief Clerk has received resignation letters from Representative Ryan Armagost, House District 64, Representative Rose Puglisi, House District 14, Representative Shannon Byrd, House District 29, and Representative William Lindstedt, House District 33. The vacancy created by the resignation of Representative Armagost was filled by Representative Slaw, who was sworn in on September 23rd, 2025. The vacancy created by the resignation of Representative Puglisi was filled by Representative Flanell, who was sworn in on October 29th, 2025. In just a few minutes, we will swear in Representative-elect Lori Goldstein, who fills the vacancy in House District 29, and Representative-elect Kenny Wynn, who fills the vacancy in House District 33. Mr. Schiebel, please read the communications from the Secretary of State regarding the certificates of appointments for Representatives-elect Goldstein and Wynn.
State of Colorado, Department of State. I, Jenna Griswold, Secretary of State, certify that the attached is a true and exact copy of the nomination by vacancy committee as filed in this office on January 11, 2026 by the Democratic 29th House District Vacancy Committee, appointing Lori Goldstein to fill the vacancy in the office of Colorado State House of Representatives, District 29, caused by the resignation of the Honorable Shannon Byrd. In testimony whereof, I have set my hand and affixed the Great Seal of the State of Colorado at the City of Denver this 13th day of January 2026, signed, Jenna Griswold, Secretary of State. State of Colorado, Department of State. I, Jenna Griswold, Secretary of State, certify that the attached is a true and exact copy of the acceptance of nomination by vacancy committee as filed in this office on January 11, 2026 by Lori Goldstein, accepting the appointment of the Democratic 29th House District Vacancy Committee to fill the vacancy in the office of Colorado State House of Representatives, District 29, caused by the resignation of the Honorable Shannon Byrd. In testimony whereof, I have set my hand and affixed the Great Seal of the State of Colorado at the City of Denver this 13th day of January 2026, signed, Jenna Griswold, Secretary of State. State of Colorado, Department of State. I, Jenna Griswold, Secretary of State, certify that the attached is a true and exact copy of the nomination by vacancy committee as filed in this office on January 12, 2026 by the Democratic 33rd House District Vacancy Committee, appointing Kenny Van Wynn to fill the vacancy in the office of Colorado State House of Representatives, District 33, caused by the resignation of the Honorable William Lindstedt. In testimony whereof, I have set my hand and affixed the Great Seal of the State of Colorado at the City of Denver this 14th day of January 2026, signed, Jenna Griswold, Secretary of State. State of Colorado, Department of State. I, Jenna Griswold, Secretary of State, certify that the attached is a true and exact copy of the acceptance of nomination by vacancy committee as filed in this office on January 12, 2026 by Kenny Van Wynn, accepting the appointment of the Democratic 33rd House District Vacancy Committee to fill the vacancy in the office of Colorado State House of Representatives, District 33, caused by the resignation of the Honorable William Lindstedt. In testimony whereof, I have set my hand and affixed the Great Seal of the State of Colorado at the City of Denver this 14th day of January 2026, signed, Jenna Griswold, Secretary of State.
Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the Committee on Credentials be appointed.
The question before the House is the appointment of the Committee on Credentials. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. The motion passes. Majority Leader Duran as chair, Assistant Majority Leader Bacon, and Minority Leader Caldwell will serve as the Committee on Credentials. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Will the Committee on Credentials please join me in the well?
there's smiles, I think it's a good sign. Madam Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, the Committee on Credentials has met and has made its report. I request the report be read.
Mr. Shebel, please read the report.
Report of the Committee on Credentials. The Committee on Credentials has made an examination and finds that the certificate of the Democratic Vacancy Committee for the 29th Representative District, State of Colorado, naming Lori Goldstein as certified by the Secretary of State of the State of Colorado is a true, complete, and authentic certificate. Lori Goldstein is entitled to membership in this body pursuant to law in such case made and provided. The Committee on Credentials has made an examination and finds that the certificate of the Democratic Vacancy Committee for the 33rd Representative District, State of Colorado, naming Kenny Van Wyn, certified by the Secretary of State of the State of Colorado, is a true, complete, and authentic certificate. Kenny Van Wyn is entitled to membership in this body pursuant to law in such case made and provided. Signed Majority Leader Monica Duran, Assistant Majority Leader Jennifer Bacon, and Minority Leader Jarvis Caldwell.
Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the adoption of the report of the Committee on Credentials.
Members, all those in favor of accepting the report from the Committee on Credentials, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. The report is adopted. Will Representative-elect Goldstein please join me at the podium? Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Lori Goldstein,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Colorado,
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Colorado,
and that I will faithfully perform the duties of my office
and that I will faithfully perform the duties of my office
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. Thank you. It's official.
Thank you.
Thank you. Will Representative-elect Wynn please join me at the podium? Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Kenny Van Wyn,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of Colorado,
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Colorado,
and that I will faithfully perform the duties of my office
that I will faithfully perform the duties of my office
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Here you go. Mr. Shebel, please call on our new representatives for the roll call.
Representative Goldstein. And Representative Wynn.
Members, we now have 65 present, no excused, and no vacancies. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the Committee of Three be appointed to notify the Senate that the House is organized and ready for business.
Seeing no objections, Representative Ferre as chair, Representatives Rutnell and Johnson will notify the Senate that the House is organized and ready for business. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the Committee of Three be appointed to notify the Governor that the House is organized and ready for business.
Seeing no objection to the motion, Representative R. Stewart as chair, Representative Lindsay and Representative Gonzalez will notify the Governor that the House is organized and ready for business. At this time, the committees to notify the Senate and the Governor will be excused to proceed to the Senate chambers and to the office of the Governor. The House will stand in a brief recess until the committees return. Please don't go too far from the chamber.
Test, test, audio test, audio test. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Members. Hello, members. While we stand in recess, I am members and guests. Members and guests, may I have your attention? You know, it's like homecoming, isn't it? We're all catching up with folks we haven't seen in a while. Members, while we are in recess, I would like to welcome, I won't say lower chamber, I would like to welcome the Senate committee that is here to notify the House. The committee from the Senate includes Senator Wallace, Senator Liston, and Senator Lindstedt. That doesn't quite roll off the tongue. Please come forward to address the body. Senator Wallace.
Good morning, Madam Speaker. Thank you so much for allowing us back into your chamber. I just wanted to mention Senator Lindstedt, the good senator from Broomfield, and I started as aides in this Capitol together about 13 years ago to this day. And we started here in the lower chamber, and then we learned all of the lessons and have advanced to the Senate. But we are here to tell you that the Senate is ready for business, and we hope that you are too.
That's right, Senator Liston.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's good to be back here. You know, I don't know how I did it. I spent 12 sessions in this chamber, and I still have a little bit of sanity, not much. But Madam Speaker, Madam Majority Leader, and Mr. Minority Leader, it's good to see you all. The Senate is up and ready for business. We've had our naps, and we're going to take care of all your bills. Don't worry about us. We're worried about you. So thank you. It's good to be here.
Senator Lindstedt.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and it's very good to be back.
Woo!
You know, I think it's a little bit too fresh to make jokes, but I'll just say that the Senate is ready to do business. We're ready to be deliberative and to hear your bills. So excited to work with you all this year, and it's good to see you all.
One last round of applause. Thank you. Good to see you. Members, we will remain in recess until our committees return from the Senate and the Governor's office. Members, the House will come back to order. The committees have returned from the Senate chamber in the Governor's office. Please proceed to the well. Representative Ferre.
Madam Speaker, Elizabeth was not able to do the Pledge of Allegiance, so she wanted to let you know that the Senate chambers are ready for business.
Wonderful. Representative Johnson.
We are happy to report that we beat the Senate by a couple of minutes, and we will continue this tradition as we will outpace the Senate.
I love it. Representative Rutnell.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I know you sent me to the lesser chamber as punishment. I just don't know what I did. I will say that I told them that we huddled together, and we told them we were only going to send our best bills so that they can just send it right on through to the governor. As usual, they are not listening, and we will have to negotiate with them.
Thank you all. And also from the Office of the Governor, Representative Stewart.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We reported to the governor that the House is ready for business, and we got to be the first legislators in his brand new refurbished and renovated office that goes back to what it looked like in the early 20th century. It also has an original Eames chair in it, which is very exciting for any mid-century enthusiasts.
Wonderful. Representative Gonzalez.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Maroney's good member. Good morning, and I just want to notify that we did beat the Senate as well to notify the governor. And I just want to go on the record that we are the best chamber. So.
Yes, we are. Representative Lindsay.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As a lover of decor, I'm going to tell you, anytime you're in the governor's office for a meeting, please try to sit in that Eames chair and take a look at all the beautiful, lovely light fixtures.
Thank you, members. Mr. Schiebel, please read the list of appointments for the committees of reference and the Joint Budget Committee.
Committee on Agriculture, Water, and Natural Resources. Representatives Karen McCormick, Chair, Tisha Morrow, Vice Chair, Lori Garcia-Sander, Lori Goldstein, Dusty Johnson, Mandy Lindsay, Megan Lukens, Matthew Martinez, Leslie Smith, Katie Stewart, Tammy Story, Larry Don Sukla, and Ty Winter. Committee on Appropriations. Representatives Kyle Brown, Chair, Emily Sirota, Vice Chair, Andrew Basenecker, Scott Bottoms, Junie Joseph, Karen McCormick, Matt Soper, Rick Taggart, Brianna Titone, Elizabeth Velasco, and Yara Zokai. Committee on Business Affairs and Labor. Representatives Nikita Ricks, Chair, Sean Camacho, Vice Chair, Max Brooks, Regina English, Ryan Gonzalez, Rebecca Kelty, Sheila Leader, Javier Mabry, Bob Marshall, Tisha Morrow, Chris Richardson, Gretchen Ryden, and Larry Don Sukla. Committee on Education. Representatives Megan Lukens, Chair, Matthew Martinez, Vice Chair, Jennifer Bacon, Mary Bradfield, Ava Flanell, Lori Garcia-Sander, Lindsay Gilchrist, Eliza Hamrick, Anthony Hartsook, Dusty Johnson, Jackie Phillips, Katie Stewart, and Tammy Story. Committee on Energy and Environment. Representatives Alex Valdez, Chair, Elizabeth Velasco, Vice Chair, Carlos Barone, Ken DeGraff, Lori Goldstein, Jamie Jackson, Junie Joseph, Amy Pascal, Manny Rutinell, Scott Slaw, Leslie Smith, Jenny Wilford, and Dan Woog. Committee on Finance. Representatives Stephen Woodrow, Chair, Brianna Titone, Vice Chair, Max Brooks, Sean Camacho, Ken DeGraff, Lorena Garcia, Ryan Gonzalez, Anthony Hartsook, Bob Marshall, Rebecca Stewart, and Yara Zokai. Committee on Health and Human Services. Representatives Lindsay Gilchrist, Chair, Sheila Leader, Vice Chair, Carlos Barone, Mary Bradfield, Brandy Bradley, Regina English, Lisa Foray, Eliza Hamrick, Dusty Johnson, Karen McCormick, Gretchen Ryden, Katie Stewart, and Dan Woog. Committee on Judiciary. Representatives Javier Mabry, Chair, Michael Carter, Vice Chair, Jennifer Bacon, Chad Clifford, Cecilia Espinoza, Ava Flanell, Lorena Garcia, Rebecca Kelty, Scott Slaw, Matt Soper, and Yara Zokai. Committee on State Civic, Military, and Veterans Affairs. Representatives Jenny Wilford, Chair, Chad Clifford, Vice Chair, Scott Bottoms, Brandy Bradley, Michael Carter, Cecilia Espinoza, Lisa Foray, Meg Froelich, Stephanie Luck, Kenny Wynn, and Nikita Ricks. Committee on Transportation, Housing, and Local Government. Representatives Meg Froelich, Chair, Rebecca Stewart, Vice Chair, Andrew Basenecker, Max Brooks, Jamie Jackson, Mandy Lindsay, Kenny Wynn, Amy Pascal, Jackie Phillips, Chris Richardson, Larry Don Sukla, Elizabeth Velasco, and Ron Weinberg. The Joint Budget Committee. Representatives Emily Sirota, Chair, Kyle Brown, and Rick Taggart.
Thank you, Mr. Schiebel. Members, it's your favorite part of the year. It is speech time. A moment for both myself and our minority leader to address the body. First and foremost, welcome to our members, a warm welcome to the guests and dignitaries who have joined us today. Thank you for being a part of this moment. I want to take a moment to recognize the veterans here today, both of our body and those who are guests with us. Will all those please rise, veterans and those currently serving in the armed services? Please stand for a wave so that we may honor your service. I also want to be sure to give a huge thanks to the many people who keep this building and legislature running, our aides and caucus staff, nonpartisan staff and clerks, our facility workers, and of course our sergeants. Members, would you please rise and give a round of applause to our team? A few other happy notes. We can't forget that our chief clerk's new chief responsibility is baby Trevor. Congratulations to the entire Riley family on their new addition. Even more good news, love is in the air. Not only did Representative Lukens receive a big diamond ring atop the cliffs of Ireland, but for the first time ever, we have some good news from the press table. Seth, congratulations on your wedding. We all know that Hawaii can't possibly beat opening day at the Colorado State Capitol, so I'm sure it wasn't all that hard to get back on the plane. Members, a lot has happened since we last gathered here. Every year changes. Some changes and some years can feel harder than others. We are missing a colleague in our halls today. Senator Faith Winter served Colorado proudly for 12 years before her tragic passing. I mourn her as I miss her smile and warmth and her unwavering, steely dedication to fight for what is right. Last June, I saw with horror and a deep sadness as my friend, former Speaker Melissa Hortman, and her husband Mark were shot and killed in their home. Melissa had been a support to me personally, a political force for good, and someone truly dedicated to making her home state of Minnesota better every day. Just months after Melissa's death, Charlie Kirk was shot and killed in front of a crowd of Utah. Their murders crystallized even more powerfully for me that political violence is rising, and it flows downstream from the caustic rhetoric all around us. No matter how bitterly we might disagree on the important issues, we have to raise the decency in our rhetoric, and we have to do that together. I am heartened by leaders on both sides who have had the courage to condemn political violence. Violence can never be the price of our democracy. And before we move forward with this speech and today's festivities, I do want to acknowledge that there are others we have lost. Family members, friends, constituents. I invite everyone to take a moment of silence in recognition of those who have passed. Thank you. Please be seated. I love that we begin each legislative session at the start of the year. Just as our calendars flip to a new page, we come back to the Capitol with novel ideas, bright faces, and sometimes even a fresh blanket of snow. Fingers crossed on that last one because we really need the moisture. I also come back to this building each year with a different perspective. In the high country, we say that you never step in the same river twice. I think that's true for our time at the Capitol as well. The river keeps moving, the challenges change. Though the last year has been hard in so many ways, as I look at all of you today, I see resilience. I see 64 representatives and dozens more staff who have faced hardship and still shown a readiness to get to work. That commitment renews my sense of purpose today, and I hope it does yours as well. Today is the start of a new session, the start of 120 brand new days where we work together to make a difference. We won't ignore the havoc outside these walls or the gloom or bury our heads in the sand to avoid discomfort, but we will tune out the noise that's designed to capture attention for attention's sake. Coloradans have made it clear for years now they simply do not care about the noise or performative outrage. They care about results. And here in our Colorado, we deliver real results. Our Colorado is a bulwark against the chaos in Washington. Coloradans are looking for us to focus on what matters. What matters is that too many children live in poverty. And because of a single policy passed by this body, our Family Affordability Tax Credit, we cut child poverty by nearly 41% in 1 year. Cheers. What matters is that this $800 million budget gap puts safety net programs at risk. We must turn over every stone to find the funding to sustain them. What matters is protecting the rule of law and upholding justice for the dignity and rights of women, immigrants, LGBTQ Coloradans, and working families. What matters is that Coloradans' costs are too damn high, and it is now more than ever our time to fix it. That is why I'm fortified by the resilience in your faces today. We've got a steep mountain to skin, but the run will be worth it. Members, in August, we faced the fallout from Congress's budget, which immediately blew a $1 billion hole in Colorado's finances, on top of new unprecedented threats to Medicaid, SNAP, TANF, and other essential services. In this moment, when the White House would hold Colorado hostage, I'm reminded of a Churchill saying, "You were given the choice between war and dishonor. If you choose dishonor, you will still have war." I fear this administration will target Colorado no matter what we do, so members, it is always time to do what's right. It's plain that Colorado's fiscal constraints make it hard to pivot quickly when costs rise unexpectedly or revenues disappear overnight. Medicaid costs are growing at twice the rate of what we are allowed to spend under the Taxpayer Bill of Rights spending cap. That increase is driven by long-term care for seniors and behavioral health services and prescription drug costs, health care that every Coloradan may someday need. To be clear, this deficit is not due to reckless overspending. It is time to modernize our outdated fiscal structure because our future shouldn't be bound by a 30-year-old formula that doesn't account for today's realities. The math just isn't mathing for the people of our state, and I charge all of you with a commitment Representative Wynn, you're ready to go. Yeah, okay. I charge all of you with a commitment to engage in the conversation about what we need to do to serve the people of this state. Nobody's coming to rescue us. There are no easy buttons. Balancing this budget will require shared sacrifice and very serious leadership. I will ask these three individuals to stand. To the members of the Joint Budget Committee, Representatives Sirota, Brown, and Taggart. I know all of you have sleepless nights behind you and ahead of you. Take a lot of Advil PM. Thank you for taking on this weighty responsibility. In the pain we're facing, I also see a chance to look beyond our budget and find answers to the questions Coloradans have been asking. How do we unrig our economy so that it works for everyone, not just the few, but the many? The promise of America is freedom and a fair shot, and the promise in the West goes further. It's about progress. Progress comes from new ideas and from the determination to see them through. We know hardworking people are struggling to stay ahead under the lingering effects of inflation and global tariffs. Now, skyrocketing costs are sinking all boats. In Colorado, it's time to continue the fight for a new economy that brings back a shot at success for everyone. No one should be able to pull up the ladder behind them to keep people down. That's not the Colorado way. It is not how we move forward. That's why this session we will do three things: lower everyday costs, protect our successes, and sustain targeted investments in our future. When we lower costs and create good-paying jobs, we can build an economy where working people have a fair shot, where entrepreneurs can take a risk and start a business, where small businesses are equipped to hire, compete, and succeed, and where farms and ranches are passed down to the next generation instead of being sold off in pieces. On healthcare and housing especially, we need to cut right to the heart of what is making Coloradans' lives more expensive. That also includes working on childcare costs, the prices of everyday goods, and putting consumers first. When Congress let the premium healthcare tax credits, when Congress let healthcare premiums surge, Colorado Democrats stepped up to stabilize our insurance market and blunt the devastating impacts of those hikes. If Congress continues to fail to extend the enhanced premium tax credits, we'll need to look at options again to keep health insurance prices from spiraling. Colorado is a beautiful place to call home. We're lucky to live here, but the cost of renting or buying a home is making that dream almost impossible for working people. This year, we will unlock innovative financing mechanisms to build more affordable housing, make it easier for nonprofits to build homes on land they already own, and continue to reduce property insurance costs. We know that healthcare and housing represent the biggest squeezes on working people's budgets. That's why we keep coming back to these policy issues with the fortitude to both make big changes and get it right. But we're not just bringing back a fair shot for working people to thrive, we will also make sure that our kids have endless possibilities too. We have a lot to be proud of where our children are concerned. When I first entered the legislature in 2019, school finance was dire. Since then, we have increased per pupil funding in our K-12 schools by 46%. We've brought total program funding up by $3 billion, and we eliminated the budget stabilization factor. We did that together. Okay. Yeah. We didn't stop there. We secured free full-day kindergarten and launched universal preschool. Universal preschool today is saving thousands of families over $6,000 each year in childcare, and it's giving kids a head start on school readiness and social connection at a critical stage. Our next step is to unify education and opportunity by bringing higher education apprenticeships and workforce pathways under one roof. Everyone must be equipped to live the career of their dreams. But our kids don't just deserve a top-notch education and the skills to confront a changing world. We owe our kids and our kids' kids a livable future by protecting Colorado's pristine environments, land, air, and water. And we owe it to rural communities and urban centers alike to invest in renewable energy. We must hold our ground on all of the protections we've put in place and fight the Trump administration's attempts to claw away our 8 million acres of public lands. Members, Coloradans agree. We all agreed, all of us, that our public lands are not for sale. I'm trying to get you to stand, Rep. Taggart. But folks, it's not just Coloradans who love their public lands. Katy Perry may have been the first pop star in space, but when those 11 minutes were up, she kissed the earth, and she liked it. Ba-dum-bum. I tried. I'm immensely proud that Western Slope Democrats and Republicans alike have a tradition of bipartisan collaboration, the Western Slope Way, and especially on issues like water rights and land protection, one I hope that we can continue. Together, we can balance a clean, healthy environment and the needs of our growing state. And members, this session, we are going to protect our progress. We will not forget about the other crucial part of the American promise, our freedoms. Coloradan civil rights are not to be played with. We won't shove our immigrant and LGBTQ neighbors back into the shadows. We won't give up. We won't give up on disability access or voting rights, and we are a model in the nation for abortion rights in the post-Dobbs reality. We won't roll them back. We are a nation founded by immigrants and social outcasts. Diversity does make our state stronger. It is un-American for the federal government to use masked vigilantes to arrest, detain, and evict people off the street. Simply on the basis of their skin color, their language, their gender, or their identity. Colorado will continue to stand against this betrayal of our values. And members, we will remember Renee Good and the wrongful detentions of Jeanette Vizguera Ramirez, Fernando Jaramillo Solano and his children, and so many others. We have so much ahead of us. Our budget situation especially will force us to concentrate on what truly allows Coloradans to thrive. The path forward is not always clear, but in Colorado, we know how to trailblaze through the brush. Our work for the year is just beginning, but this is my final opening day speech. Thank God, says my husband, and maybe my daughter. I want to reflect for just a moment on how far we have come. I am so immensely proud of what we've accomplished in the 7 years I've been a part of this body. I am so proud of the results we've delivered, often in partnership with our colleagues on the other side of the aisle. Members, poverty is down, incomes are up, tax rates are lower, school meals are free for every student. Protections now abound for public health and air quality in oil and gas operations. More people have health coverage thanks to reinsurance, the Colorado option, and Omni Salud. We strengthened protections for renters and passed breakthrough measures to build more affordable housing. We've led on pragmatic gun violence prevention. We passed first in the nation protections for our waterways, streams, and wetlands. And yes, 1 year from now, this one's for you, Kate, the curtains will rise on the Sundance Film Festival in Boulder. Members, just like the Avalanche, the Nuggets, and everybody cross your fingers, the Broncos too. Heck, and our women's soccer team and someday women's hockey teams, right? Like all those teams, the Big Green Machine has been a winning team too. To our new faces in the chamber today, please stand. Representatives Slaw, Fennell, Goldstein, and Wynn, welcome to the Thunderdome. Minority Leader Caldwell, thank you for stepping up to lead your caucus. I am truly looking forward to our work together and our work in partnership with Assistant Minority Leader Winter. To my colleagues who are in their final year, please stand. Majority Leader Duran, Representative Almost Grandma Froelich, Representative Sirota, Representative Soper, our lone Republican, Representative Tatone, Representative Valdez, and Representative Woodrow. Thank you for your service. Representative Luckett will be your last year as well. It's been real, it's been fun, and yes, it's been real fun at times. On a more personal note, it is the privilege of my life to be your speaker. Thank you for the trust. I'm so proud we have done the daily, nitty-gritty work to compromise and find solutions together. A round of applause. Majority Leader Duran, I am eternally grateful to have you in my corner. You are a legislator's legislator and a fearless advocate. We have traveled far together, and we are not done yet. And Lord, the Senate does not know what they got coming. Thank you, Monica, for everything. To my dear and wonderful family, just one more session, and I really mean it this time. You have been my collective rock. Thank you for just being here and walking up a hill. To my sister Susan, thank you for being the bravest, toughest person I know. Stay strong. I love you. Thank you. Thank you all. Folks, we've got big things to do this session as we start each of the remaining 119 days in this building. I will keep some things in mind, and I ask and hope that you will too. Talk to each other kindly whenever you can. Lead with laughter, lead with compassion, lead with love. Assume the best of each other and in each other. Each of you can find common ground with the other people who sit in these chairs, no matter how strange walking that acreage together might turn out to be. Members, staff, and guests, We are present. We are organized. We are ready to take care of business. Welcome to the opening day of the second regular session of the 75th General Assembly. Minority Leader Caldwell.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, members of the 75th General Assembly. It's a beautiful thing to see you all here with your families, along with the people of Colorado. During the second regular session of the General Assembly, and in the year of our 150th anniversary, as my first address as the new House Minority Leader, I'm going to do something a bit unorthodox. During the interim, we've seen our politics, here and across the nation, reach a level of toxicity that is not just harmful to our discourse, but dangerous. And I appreciate Madam Speaker's words on this and recognition of it. I commend the majority leadership on their efforts to work across the aisle to explore how we can lower the temperature while also recognizing that there will still be fierce but respectable disagreements on policy. It's important that our sides understand what we believe and why we believe it. I've maintained since I was first elected that no matter our political differences, if you bring me a bill that doesn't violate the Constitution or our foundational principles, is good for the people of House District 20 and the people of Colorado, I will gladly put my name on it with you. That's what the people of Colorado want to see from us, and that's what we owe them. As 22 elected House Republicans, we represent approximately 2 million Coloradans in our districts alone. In 2024, approximately 45% of Coloradans who cast a vote for a House candidate voted for a Republican. I bring this up as a reminder that while we may be the minority party now, we represent the views of a large percentage and wide range of Coloradans all across this great state. So, what does our caucus believe and why do we believe it? We agree, ma'am, we do care about affordability. Coloradans are asking us, how are you going to make my life more affordable? How are my children going to have the same opportunities that I once had? Because right now, that's not their reality. We've noticed that the more bills we pass in the name of affordability, the less affordable Colorado becomes. The Colorado state budget has increased by nearly 50% in the last 7 years. And so I ask all of you, have our roads, our schools, our safety, or our healthcare gotten 50% better? While we're facing another $1 billion budget shortfall, we'll still pass a record-setting budget. This is in large part because the Taxpayer Bill of Rights is often sidestepped by new enterprises and the fees that come along with them. We're going to hear and see a lot of finger pointing at H.R. 1, but the reality is these challenges did not begin this year or with a single federal bill. The issues Coloradans are facing have been building for years as a result of state-level decisions. Overburdensome regulations and unprecedented government growth from this building stifles economic prosperity, causes businesses to close or leave, and drives up costs for everyone. When you're living on the margins, paycheck to paycheck, legislation that adds a little more to your costs through taxes, fees, or regulations eventually adds up. And we do that here, hundreds of times a session, year after year after year. That fraction of a percent, over and over again, eventually becomes the difference on whether you can buy a new home, whether you can fill up your cart with food at the grocery store, whether you can fill up your gas tank to go to work or take your children to school, whether you can put money in a savings account or towards your children's college fund, whether you can pay a medical bill, fix an unreliable vehicle, or survive on a fixed income like our seniors must do. We must slow down the growth of government in order to spur the growth of the people. We fight for parental rights. We believe that parents have the right to make the best decision for their kids, not the government. As parents, we know our children better than any elected or unelected body ever could. As a dad myself of 2 young sons who are here with me today with my wife, Rianne, you can clap for them. Their lives have changed my entire outlook on the world. When my first son was born, and I stood there in the operating room and I looked into his eyes, I knew from that moment that whether I lived 50 more days or 50 more years, my life would never be the same. I would never sleep the same, think the same, dream the same, pray the same, or love the same. I felt that, not the government. When one of our children are hurt and they're lying in a hospital bed, it's not the government that sits next to their bed, holds their hand, asks God how this could have happened, prays to God for a full recovery, or tells their child that if they could, they'd take the pain away and put it upon themselves. That's what parents do, not the government. So when we see legislation from this building telling us that the government knows better than us, the parents, we get mad. And we fight for the God-given right as parents to make those decisions without government intrusion. We care about the environment. After all, we all breathe the same air. Many of our constituents are those who depend on a healthy environment. They're farmers, ranchers, hunters, guides, sportsmen, conservationists, and those just blessed enough to live amongst God and His creation. In the pursuit of a cleaner future, we are putting those most vulnerable in an untenable position. I've been poor, a kid from the trailer park. I know what it's like to watch your parents living paycheck to paycheck. When you live on the margin, a 10% increase in your electric bill is the difference between paying a bill and missing a meal. We can work towards a cleaner environment, but we must do it pragmatically. We must not do it at the expense of destroying our lower and middle class Coloradans, turning away new industries that require a reliable electrical grid, or killing good-paying blue-collar jobs, many of which are trade union jobs made up of pipe fitters, electricians, plumbers, truck drivers, rail workers, gas workers, and coal miners. We will one day have the innovation and infrastructure to have entirely clean energy, but our current trajectory is activism on a collision course with reality. Our climate policies are leading to unaffordable utility bills, removal of affordable natural gas options, baseload facilities closing prematurely, and the very serious potential for rolling blackouts in some of our largest cities if we do not slow down and take a little more time to transition. Let California make the mistake of rushing to their own destruction, not Colorado. Public safety is a top priority for the Minority Caucus. Law and order is a cornerstone of any functioning society. Coloradans must feel safe to go about their daily lives, and businesses must be able to operate without constant crime. And if crime does happen, they all must be assured that the criminal will be punished to the full extent of the law. Redemption and second chances for those committing crimes should be a part of our policy. However, the innocent people not committing crimes must come first. We must put the needs of the innocent before the wants of the criminals. And our brave law enforcement officials must know we support them. And we know why they cover their face. We believe in school choice. A school that may be amazing for your children may not be the right choice for mine. A child should not be confined to the building they just so happen to live closest to. A child who struggles in one school may flourish in another. Parents should have the choice to send their children to the school that best fits their needs, whether it's a district-run public school, charter school, private school, or homeschool, period. We believe in protecting life, whether that's the life of our vulnerable children while they attend school or the life of the innocent still in the womb. We hear a lot about life lessons and lived experiences, and how lucky are we to have had the chance to experience such things. We feel so passionately about our Second Amendment rights for the very same reason. We carry our firearms to protect the lives of our families, ourselves, and those around us, whether they agree with us or not. Restrictive gun laws do nothing to stop the criminals committing the crimes. Instead, they make it more difficult for the law-abiding to exercise their God-given right to defend themselves and their families. And lastly, but most importantly, our faith in God guides not only how we raise our families and live our lives, it also guides the foundational principles when representing our constituents. These very same principles are those shared by virtually all of the original signers of the Declaration of Independence and of those who ratified the U.S. Constitution, which laid the foundation to create the greatest country to ever exist in the history of the world, and it's not even close. We cannot legislate morality. And the further we stray away from those founding principles, the further we should expect our society to decay with broken homes, substance abuse, crime, and suicide. And so you can imagine our shock and horror during the interim when we watched someone many of us admired, a young father, husband, and Christian, Charlie Kirk, be murdered in front of the entire world simply for his willingness to debate those biblical values on a college campus. It was troubling watching so many in the public, many in positions of trust, mock the murder of a young man that left a wife husbandless and 2 children fatherless. As many of us share those same Christian beliefs with Charlie, we viewed the celebration and mocking of his murder as a justification for our own deaths. We find solace in Scripture, in verses like Isaiah 41:10, "Fear not, for I am with you." To Charlie, I say this: may we all be so persuasive in our arguments, so just in our actions, and so righteous in our convictions that the devil dances on our graves when we die. So, how now shall we live? Do we accept Colorado being ranked nationally as the 3rd most expensive state to live in? Do we accept being ranked 48th in housing affordability, or 48th in cost of living, or a D+ grade for our roads? Do we accept being the 6th most regulated state for business, with approximately 45% of our regulations being excessive or duplicative? Do we accept being ranked 49th out of 50 for public safety, or 7th overall in violent crime? Do we accept being ranked number 2 nationally in property crime, or 4th in auto theft, and in the top 10 for retail theft? Do we accept being ranked in the top 10 for human trafficking, or one of the worst states for fentanyl, a poison that has robbed so many families of loved ones, many of them children? I don't believe that anyone in this chamber feels this is acceptable. And our caucus has warned for many years that this would be the outcome of misguided policies. So, let this session of our 150th anniversary as a state be a turning point where we can come together, as Coloradans ask us to do, and change the course. In 2026, we have a very unique opportunity to improve the lives of our constituents and ensure a prosperous future in Colorado for another 150 years. God bless you all. God bless Colorado, and may God bless America.
Madam Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, it has been an honor to serve with you.
And an honor to serve with you.
I move to suspend the rules of immediate consideration of Senate Joint Resolution 2.
Madam Majority
sorry,
Leader,
I'm
we
ahead of
are,
myself.
yes, we're going to get there.
Let's
just not
start
yet.
over. Madam Speaker, I move that the remarks of the Speaker and Minority Leader be printed in the Journal.
Seeing no objection, the remarks will be printed in the Journal. Members, we are not going to take a recess. Members, we do have just a moment of business to tend to. Mr. Schiebel, please read the message from the Senate.
Madam Speaker, the Senate has
Message
adopted.
from the Senate will be printed in the Journal. Please read the introduction of resolutions.
Senate Joint Resolution 2 by Senator Rodriguez, also Representative Duran, concerning a joint session of the Senate and the House of Representatives for the purpose of hearing a message from His Excellency Governor Jared Polis and appointing a committee to escort the governor.
Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to suspend the rules for the immediate consideration of Senate Joint Resolution 2. Members, this is the resolution that sets the time and the date for the State of the State address on Thursday, January 15th.
Thank you, members. We're, a little rusty. We're getting the act together. Members, the motion before us is to suspend the rules for the immediate consideration of Senate Joint Resolution 26002. Mr. Schiebel, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Representative Bradley, how do you vote?
Yes.
Representative Bradley votes yes. Members, the machine is still open. I will ask that you remain seated. Please close the machine. With 55 aye, 10 no, 0 excused, the motion to suspend the rules is adopted. Members, we will stand in a very brief recess so that you may review the resolution before you. The House will stand in recess. The House will come back to order. Members, before we move forward with business, I do want to explain the challenge of opening day. We cannot share the language of a resolution formally until it has been introduced. The resolutions before you were just introduced in the Senate. Our amazing team in the House has been scrambling to get those ready to distribute to all of you. I want to thank them for that effort, and I hope you have now all had a moment to read those resolutions. Madam Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move for the adoption of Senate Joint...
Sorry, please proceed.
Madam Speaker, I move for the adoption of Senate Joint Resolution 2. Again, this resolution sets the time, only sets the time and date for the State of the State address.
Members, Representative DeGraff.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wish I could say I missed this place. All right.
Representative DeGraff, I missed you.
Well, thank you, Madam Speaker. I said this place. I didn't say anything about any of the persons. I did miss the persons. So, let's get this started right for SJR 26-002. I do understand that it is to set the time and date, but I do have problems with the language. And the problem with the language, and for which I will move in a moment, is the term His Excellency. Now, it strikes me as odd that the neo-feudalists of this chamber, like DSA, call for no kings while literally demanding a monarchical society.
Representative DeGraff, I want to get off on the right foot and no clapping, please, thank you. Kindly ask that we have no name calling as a part of our explanation as to why we may have a particular viewpoint or opinion on either a resolution or a piece of legislation. Please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Okay, so we're talking about no kings. So won't talk about this other stuff here, but I thought it'd be very interesting. But this ceremonial phrasing, His Excellency, has been used for many years in legislative journals and resolutions when referring to the governor. And it always struck me as a little bit odd, especially in this environment of no king. So really, I'm taking this up on your behalf. So you're welcome. So this ceremonial phrasing has been used for many years in legislative journals, but the excellency part has always struck me as odd. So I thought this year I'll take issue with it. However, if you're looking at the Colorado Revised Statutes available on the website, there is no section that defines or uses His Excellency or Excellency as an official title for governor. Now, there's a lot of problems with the term governor because it ties back to the feudal times, the monarch times. I'm not sure exactly how that word is. I'll make one up later. So the CRS refers to the governor of Colorado. That's it. So we're talking about the governor, someone who governs. Some issues with that, but the ceremonial reference to the governor as His Excellency in the legislative resolutions, such as those inviting the chief executive to address joint sessions of the General Assembly, is a vestige of outdated protocol that lacks any basis in the Colorado Revised Statutes or the Constitution. It's not a formal title enshrined in law. Its use perpetuates a connotation of superiority that undermines the foundational principles of the American republicanism as articulated in the Declaration of Independence and the United States Constitution and the Colorado Constitution. This argument draws on the egalitarian ethos of these documents, the symbolic architecture of this Colorado State Capitol itself, where we find ourselves sitting. In an era marked by public demonstrations like No Kings rallies, adopting a more fitting honorific such as the Honorable would better align with these principles, ensuring that the governor is positioned as a servant of the people, not positioning himself above the people, or not having the legislative body positioning himself above. The Declaration of Independence, which serves as a philosophical cornerstone for both the federal and state governments, proclaims all men are created equal and endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, including life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It further states that governments are instituted among men to secure these rights, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. This is the Constitution. These are the principles to which we took an oath. This language emphasizes that no individual in government holds inherent superiority. Authority is delegated by the people for the express purpose of protecting their rights, not elevating officials to the status of excellence or eminence. The United States Constitution reinforces this by guaranteeing a Republican form of government. Now, I think the most basic way to define the difference is that a republic will protect the individual from the mob. A democracy will feed him to it. But prohibited any granting of any title of nobility, which of course governor refers to as a title of nobility, as is His Excellence, by the United States or by the states. Well, His Excellency is not a heritable nobility title. Its origins trace back to the monarchs and the colonial traditions, where it is used for viceroys and governors under British rule. In a republic, such language evokes a hierarchy incompatible with equality. The Colorado Constitution echoes these ideals in its Bill of Rights, affirming that all persons have certain natural, essential, and inalienable rights, among which may be reckoned the right of enjoying and defending their lives, which is why we have the Second Amendment, and liberties, which is why we have the Second Amendment, and that of acquiring and protecting property. Again, we have our Second Amendment, and seeking and obtaining their safety and happiness. The governor, as outlined in Article 4, is the chief executive. That is not excellence, tasked with the faithful execution of the laws, but nowhere is the title excellency mandated or implied. Instead, the Constitution frames the executive as part of a balanced system of checks accountable to the people and their elected representatives. Using excellency connotes a level of superiority. Excellence, deriving from the Latin term excellentia, meaning towering or eminence. That clashes with the self-evident truth of equality. Public officials, including the governor, the civil servants, not superiors. This is evident in the Constitution's emphasis on accountability. The governor can be impeached by the House. He does not excel. He is not eminent over the House. And tried by the Senate, underscoring the subordination to the legislative will of the people. The physical design of this building, the Colorado State Capitol building itself, embodies these constitutional principles, symbolizing the primacy of we, the people, over the governor, and their government. Architect Elijah E. Myers intentionally placed the offices of executive officials, including the governor, on the first floor with the chambers of the General Assembly situated above them on the second floor. And to further elevate this symbolism, public galleries are located on the third floor, allowing citizens to observe legislative proceedings. From above the chambers, from vantage points, we the people literally look down on the General Assembly appropriately, which in turn oversees the executive below. This architectural hierarchy mirrors the preamble of the United States Constitution, we the people, in order to secure the blessings of liberty. And it reinforces that the government exists to serve, not to rule. Inscribing or invoking a title like His Excellency for the governor disrupts this symbolism, implying an eminence that elevates the executive above the representatives and the people that they serve. The rotunda and the dome, with the panoramic views and historical inscriptions, such as those honoring diverse Coloradans in stained glass, further emphasizes a government of the people, by the people, for the people, not to the people. The notion of public officials as civil servants is central to our Republican governance. The governor, like all elected leaders, is entrusted with power to secure rights, not to bask in a superior status, not to guide, not to direct. Excellence suggests an inherent quality of betterness, which contradicts the humility expected of servants. Federalist Paper number 39, authored by James Madison, describes a Republican government as one where the persons administering it are appointed, either directly or indirectly by the people, without heredity or elevated distinctions. This argument resonates deeply in the light of the No Kings rallies that swept Colorado and the nation of October of 2025, where thousands gathered in Denver, Colorado Springs, Fort Collins, and other communities to protest authoritarian tendencies and to affirm democratic principles. These nonpartisan events drew 12 to 15,000 people. Democrats echoed an anti-monarchical spirit of the American founding, strangely enough. Participants.
Representative DeGraff, you have 1 minute remaining.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So to honor the constitutional principles without diminishing the respect, the General Assembly should transition to the honorable governor. In resolutions and proceedings, this honorific is already used, and that's why I move SJR L001 to L001 to SJR 002 and ask that it be displayed.
Representative DeGraff, the proposed amendment has been properly displayed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I see at least one legislator down here to agree with me on the no kings premise, and I do appreciate that. I can only imagine that you're down here, I should say, I can only imagine that you're down here to support the no kings sentiment. So in conclusion, well, wait a minute, I'm not done to the conclusion yet. You threw me off. This honorific already is used for legislators, judges, and other officials connoting dignity without superiority. It aligns with the federal practices, the honorable and cabinet secretaries. It reinforces equality, such as change. No statutory amendment, such as His Excellency, appears in non-binding resolutions, but it would symbolically affirm Colorado's commitment to a government of equals, not kings. So in conclusion, the Constitution, federal and state, envisions no excellencies, only servants, only public servants securing rights. The Capitol's design and the spirit, recent rallies amplify this. The governor serves under the oversight of the legislature and the people. Abandoning his excellency would uphold these truths, ensuring our republic remains where all are equal, with no kings or excellencies among us. So today is your opportunity to vote for kings or no kings? That is the question.
Representative Garcia.
Good morning, Madam Speaker. It is great to be here on day one. And I think, given your remarks today, I feel moved to stand and say, to start us off on the right foot of that word that you all said for me, I agree with this resolution. I do believe that a more appropriate term for a governor that is duly elected is honorable. And I would urge that we all agree that we don't have kings in this state or in this country, and that we do respect the governor's position by referring to him in a respectful and a more appropriate term as honorable. Thank you.
Seeing no further discussion, the motion before us is the adoption of Amendment L001 to Senate Joint Resolution 002. Mr. Schiebel, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Representative Bradley, how do you vote?
Yes.
Representative Bradley votes yes. Representatives Brown and Joseph, thank you. Please close the machine. With 53 aye, 12 no, 0 excused, the amendment is adopted. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the adoption of Senate Joint Resolution 2 as amended.
Again, members, the motion before the body is the adoption of Senate Joint Resolution 26002 as amended. Mr. Shebel, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Representative Bradley, how do you vote?
Yes.
Representative Bradley votes yes. Please close the machine. With 60 aye, 5 no, and 0 excused, Senate Joint Resolution 002 as amended is adopted. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Members, we need to introduce a second resolution. Mr. Shebel.
Senate Joint Resolution 3 by Senators Danielson and Simpson, also Representatives Stewart K. and Sukla, concerning a joint session of the Senate and the House of Representatives for the purpose of hearing a message from representatives of the Ute Mountain Ute Tribal Council and the Southern Ute Tribal Council, and in connection therewith, appointing a committee to escort the tribal representatives.
Madam Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move to suspend the rules for the immediate consideration of Senate Joint Resolution 3. Members, this is a resolution allowing for the joint session to hear the State of the Tribe's message from representatives of the Ute Mountain Ute Tribal Council and the Southern Ute Indian Tribal Council on Friday, January 16th.
Members, the motion before us is to suspend the rules for the immediate consideration of House Joint Resolution 003. Mr. Shebel, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Representative Bradley, how do you vote?
Yes.
Representative Bradley votes yes. Please close the machine. With 62 aye, 3 no, and 0 excused, the motion to suspend the rules is adopted. Representative Stewart.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's an honor to serve with you.
It is an honor to serve with you.
Madam Speaker, I move for the adoption of Senate Joint Resolution 26003. This resolution sets a time and date for the State of the Tribe's address.
Members, we are going to read the resolution again.
Senate Joint Resolution 3 by Senators Danielson and Simpson, also Representative Stewart K. and Sukla, concerning a joint session of the Senate and the House of Representatives for the purpose of hearing a message from the representatives of the Ute Mountain Ute Tribal Council and the Southern Ute Tribal Council, and in connection therewith, appointing a committee to escort the tribal representatives.
Stewart. We're getting in good practice today. We're going to do that again. Representative Stewart.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It is still an honor to serve with you.
And it is still an honor to serve with you.
Madam Speaker, I move for the adoption of Senate Joint Resolution 26003. Again, this resolution sets a date and time for the State of the Tribe's address.
Excellent. The motion before us is the adoption of Senate Joint Resolution 003. Mr. Shebel, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Representative Bradley, how do you vote?
Yes.
Representative Bradley votes yes. Representative Clifford. Please close the machine. With 65 ayes, 0 no, and 0 excused, the resolution is adopted. Members, pursuant to Senate Joint Resolution 002, Representatives Martinez as chair, Representative Smith and Representative Bottoms will serve as the committee to escort the governor for the State of the State address tomorrow. And pursuant to Resolution 003, Representative Ricks as chair, Representative Clifford and Representative Sukla will serve as the committee to escort the Tribal Council representatives for the State of the Tribes address. And we still need co-sponsors on this resolution. Please open the machine. Please close the machine. We did it. Members, if Mr. Schiebel is ready, while we are getting ready to introduce our first round of bills, are there any announcements or introductions? Representative Ricks, I believe you've got a committee meeting tomorrow. Today. Gosh, how time flies. Representative McCormick and Assistant Minority Leader Winter.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We are here together to let you all know that the National Western Stock Show is up and running. We're starting a week later than we usually do. So with that in mind, we're also a week later on our ability to raise funds for the junior livestock sale, which is Friday the 23rd. So we are your go-to people. I'm going to double check on what checks can be written to, the name of what you write your check to, but we also accept cash. We'll take good care of it and make sure it gets to the right folks that do the bidding that night. It's a lot of fun. I've tried to attend almost every year, and we bought a pig one year. I think we bought a lamb and a small, I don't know, goat. Well, it depends on how much money we get, what we can do. And all of this money goes for scholarships for the kids that are showing their animals. So it really goes to a good cause. So help us out.
Assistant Minority Leader Winter.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And this morning we heard all the brouhaha about the competition with the Senate, so don't forget that. Bring your wallets. That competition carries. It isn't just talk, right? So let's make sure we help these kids out. This is our Western heritage. This is House District 47. These are the people that always say they clothe you and they feed you. And it's really important that you go out and support them. Food security is national security. We all saw that during COVID with the disruption in the food stream, and we need to make sure. And then she's 100% correct. I was a 4-H'er and an FFA kid, and those kids take that money and that's their investment to get to college. Because most of these people, they come off of places where they're land rich and money poor, and this is huge for those kids to be able to get the degrees that they need. So please bring on that money. Let's beat the Senate this year.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Yes.
Get out to the stock show.
Representative Ricks.
Good morning, colleagues. Happy opening day. We will be meeting for our joint business, government smart business. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's start that again. Joint business smart government hearing in the Old State Library, 15 minutes upon adjournment. When you come, members, please bring this book, which is our budget book that we're going to be working from. Thank you very much. See you soon.
Thank you. Representative Tatone.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Good morning. Tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, don't miss Joint Technology Committee. We're going to be voting on supplemental requests that were referred to us and get a seat in the audience before they fill up, because, you know, this stuff is really hot ticket. So come in early, don't be late.
Representative Story.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Good morning, everyone. Tomorrow morning, the Capital Development Committee will be meeting at 8:30 in the old Supreme Court. Change of venue. We usually meet in a Senate committee room, so 8:30 tomorrow morning in the old Supreme Court.
Thank you. Mr. Schiebel, let's proceed to the introduction of bills.
House Bill 1001 by Representatives Basenecker and Mabry, also Senators Exum and Gonzalez, concerning the promotion of residential developments on qualifying properties.
House Bill 1001 will be assigned to the Committee on Transportation, Housing, and Local Government.
House Bill 1002 by Representatives Brown and Gilchrist, also Senators Ball and Pelton B, concerning measures to increase patient access to behavioral health providers and in connection therewith, efforts to enhance provider participation in healthcare provider networks, reimbursement of pre-licensed providers who provide mental health services under the supervision of a licensed provider, and decreasing the clinical hours required to become a licensed clinical social worker.
House Bill 1002 will be assigned to the Committee on Health and Human Services.
House Bill 1003 by Representatives Ricks and Camacho, also Senator Kolker, concerning modifications to the Small Business Recovery and Resiliency Loan Program.
House Bill 1003 will be assigned to the Committee on Business Affairs and Labor.
House Bill 1004 by Representatives McCluskey and Caldwell, also Senators Coleman and Simpson, concerning a continuation of the income tax credit for a qualifying contribution to promote child care in the state.
House Bill 1004 will be assigned to the Committee on Finance.
House Bill 1005 by Representatives Mabry and Bacon, also Senators Danielson and Judah, concerning measures to reduce barriers in the Labor Peace Act to promote good faith collective bargaining negotiations.
House Bill 1005 will be assigned to the Committee on Business Affairs and Labor.
House Bill 1006 by Representatives Velasco and Martinez, also Senator Roberts, concerning the designation of state institutions of higher education as thriving institutions.
House Bill 1006 will be assigned to the Committee on Education.
House Bill 1007 by Representatives Smith and Stewart R., also Senator Kipp, concerning measures to improve a customer's ability to use distributed energy resources.
House Bill 1007 will be assigned to the Committee on Energy and Environment.
House Bill 1008 by Representatives Lukens and Taggart, also Senators Marchman and Rich, concerning measures to enhance outdoor recreation opportunities in the state and in connection therewith, expanding the Division of Parks and Wildlife's capacity for outdoor recreation coordination, planning, and management.
House Bill 1008 will be assigned to the Committee on Agriculture, Water, and Natural Resources.
House Bill 1009 by Representatives Duran and Gonzalez, also Senators Michelson, Janae, and Pelton B, concerning using a mandatory lethality assessment when responding to a domestic violence incident.
House Bill 1009 will be assigned to the Committee on Judiciary.
House Bill 1010 by Representatives Wilford and Jackson, also Senator Danielson, concerning increasing support for older adults in the workforce.
House Bill 1010 will be assigned to the Committee on Business and Labor.
House Bill 1011 by Representatives Duran and McCormick, also Senator Rodriguez, concerning the transfer of certain pet animals in Colorado.
House Bill 1011 will be assigned to the Committee on Agriculture, Water, and Natural Resources.
House Bill 1012 by Representatives Okai and Brown, also Senators Lindstedt and Weissman, concerning consumer protections to promote fair market pricing practices in the state.
House Bill 1012 will be assigned to the Committee on Judiciary.
House Bill 1013 by Representatives Sirota and Mabry, also Senators Cutter and Weissman, concerning the use of a ratio utility billing system by a landlord to allocate utility charges to tenants.
House Bill 1013 will be assigned to the Committee on Business Affairs and Labor.
House Bill 1014 by Representatives Taggart and Basenecker, also Senator Frizzell, concerning extension of the Colorado Job Growth Incentive Tax Credit through the state income tax year 2034.
House Bill 1014 will be assigned to the Committee on Finance.
House Bill 1015 by Representatives McCormick and Taggart, also Senators Michelson, Janae, and Simpson, concerning the extension of the Colorado Homeless Contribution Tax Credit through income tax year 2030.
House Bill 1015 will be assigned to the Committee on Finance.
House Bill 1016 by Representative Phillips, concerning the continuation of open educational resources policies.
House Bill 1016 will be assigned to the Committee on Education.
House Bill 1017 by Representatives Espinoza and Zokai, also Senator Weissman, concerning prohibiting an insurer from receiving restitution through the criminal restitution process.
House Bill 1017 will be assigned to the Committee on Judiciary.
House Bill 1018 by Representatives Jackson and Joseph, also Senator Amabile, concerning the establishment of long-term services and supports for an individual transitioning out of a nursing facility.
House Bill 1018 will be assigned to the Committee on Health and Human Services.
House Bill 1019 by Representatives Leader and Bacon, also Senator Roberts, concerning mandatory health care coverage for preventive kidney function screening services.
House Bill 1019 will be assigned to the Committee on Health and Human Services.
House Bill 1020 by Representatives Gilchrist and Bacon, also Senator Ball, concerning calorimetric field drug tests in cases involving drug possession.
House Bill 1020 will be assigned to the Committee on Judiciary. Madam Majority Leader. Till later today, yeah.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, I'm about to make a motion to recess until later today, at which time the Speaker will introduce another round of bills. There's no need for you to return to the chamber. You are free to go. We will see you again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. I move the House stand in recess until later today.
Seeing no objection, the House will stand in recess until later today.